Hello, everybody, and welcome to another daily live event, class. I don't like the word webinar because we don't like sell something at the end of it, 5,000 for the first 10. We don't do that. And every single day, 3 times a day, we're live, except on Sunday, we're live only once. At 10:30 Eastern time, we are live on YouTube, where every day from Monday to Friday is a different topic. We talk about, like today, we're speaker, coaches, and consultants. Yesterday was business growth. Monday was property. Tomorrow, sales and marketing funnels. And Friday, your money matters. And Saturday is a wild card. Sunday, there is none of this. And at 3:30, same thing on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page at 3:30 Eastern time. And at 4 o'clock on Instagram or my fan page, I do some live coaching. I randomly coach random people. My name is JT Foxx. I'm the world's #1 wealth and business coach, serial entrepreneur, best-selling author, private equity investor, and property investor. The woman you see here is my CEO, Francie, also known as the Pack. She has all the keys to the empire. Francie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you this morning?
I'm wearing my suit and tie. I just did a 2-hour kind of presentation. It feels good to kind of wear the suit again. You know, it's interesting. That's how it was every single day. Just kind of been used to flip-flops and t-shirts and shorts because none of them matters. Even on Zoom now, you have meetings. It doesn't really matter anymore. People look the way they are. You've got the watch out, everything out. So interesting thing is that technically we're supposed to reopen today in Chicago, but everything is boarded up. And I put a picture on my Instagram account of military convoy just kind of guarding everything.
What was like the first step of the reopening plan for you in Chicago?
Reopen with pretty much minimal of everything. So that's like distancing 50 feet apart, like really draconian, more like stores opening, stuff like that. So, but because of the riots, obviously, and everything is boarded up, like every store on Michigan Avenue is boarded up as well. So every day. So today we're talking about speaker, coaches, and consultants. We're going to have 2 separate topics. By the way, the morning and the afternoon sessions are always different. Today we're going to debate something. Can you really become a millionaire speaker? Can you really, become a millionaire? And what does it take for you to become a millionaire? And maybe some of the biggest misconceptions. I think people make it look easy. And why don't we just start by doing a show about misconceptions? Pack. And by the way, we had no idea what we're going to talk about. Literally about 30 seconds ago, she goes, "What do you want to talk about?" And that's usually what we do as well. By the way, we do have a podcast that's called Billionaire versus Millionaire, The Logic of Success. And Francie and I do a podcast called The Powerful, both sides of every issue. And then we should probably do one of those debate at some point. You can see them on YouTube or Spotify or iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast. So I'm going to go, the biggest misconception about speaking is that if you are a nobody, an unknown, that people will pay you to speak. So let me tell you, as a person who speaks in 54 countries where we've done our own events, we have clients at over 100 now, that I could tell you that the odds of you getting paid to speak if you are a nobody is very, very low. I will tell you why. The promoters, the big stages that I speak on, 5,000, 10,000, 2,000, 1,000, or even small groups, they usually hire a speaker that is a draw to sell tickets, whether it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, whether it's a Gary Vee, whether it's, whatever they have as a draw to bring people in so that they could be speakers there, platform sales speakers like me, to sell people. So I will sell my program up to 5,000, depending on the country, the price and everything. Okay. Now, people often say, "Oh my God, there's too much selling." Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, for what these speakers make, it's not enough to make money. In fact, most of these promoters, after you pay the marketing, after you pay the celebrities, and it's usually not one now because you got to have more than one, right? And you pay the venue and you pay everything and the cost and the time it took, they actually go in losing money. So the only way they make money is that if there are other products or services that are sold at the event. Right? And sometimes people will be like, "Well, that speaker didn't sell." Yes, because that speaker got $150,000 to speak. So that's why, right? Give me $150,000 and I won't sell anything. But the thing is, normally I would go in and I will speak and we'll usually split 50-50. Sometimes it's higher depending on the promoter and how many people there are, but traditionally it's 50-50. That's how it works. And then you have the clients as part of your organism, your funnel, and that's where then you could sell coaching, consulting, all of these things as well. That's how the business works. So if you want to be on the same stages as me, there's one thing, unfortunately, you can have the greatest content, but if you can't sell, they're not going to be invited or invited back. Let me turn it around. Let's say you're a promoter and you just invested $700,000 in an event, which is a lot of money. Okay. And yes, you have an audience of 5,000, 6,000 people, but you don't know how many are free tickets. You don't know how many are paid and all that. And you have a speaker that has a 60 to 90-minute spot. And you can only really have 3 or 4 sales speakers, right? Between all the celebrities and everything like that. And you go out there and the promoter is hoping that you sell maybe 300-400 programs. Let's say your program's at $1,000, right? And you split 50-50. So you sell 200, the promoter gets 100,000 by splitting 50-50. And you only sell 20 programs, right? People loved your presentation, but the promoter walks away with 10,000. And now the promoter has lost money or didn't make money because that one spot you didn't convert. If you're the promoter, would you invite that person back? Right? It's no different than a concert. If the act doesn't fill the stadium, they're not going to invite them, right? And the thing about concerts, believe it or not, concerts promoters don't make a lot of money. It doesn't matter if there's 50, 60,000 people because there's no what's called back end sales, right? And a lot of times the t-shirt sales and all that, that's actually kept by the artist, not by the venue. So the venue, you know where they make most of their money? I found this out because I've been researching this. You know where the venues make the concert promoters make most of their money? Pat?
Where?
The parking.
Well, is that the promoter or the venue? Because it's two different things.
No, the promoter because usually the promoter, when they rent out, they also have rights to the parking and keeping the parking and stuff like that. All right.
Because that's the key piece I think you skipped over is the promoter, which is the person putting on the concert, actually usually has to pay the venue a fee.
Of course. And by the way, what people don't understand is they have to pay sometimes the day before, the day after. So because they have the setup date and they have the tear down date. So now it's 3 days to rent the venue as well. So like people don't understand that it is a business. People just want to hate on, oh my God, they're trying to sell something. And by the way, no one has ever been forced to sell. That's the interesting thing. The only problem is that as the fees of the speakers getting more and more and more expensive. Now, by the way, I will make more than the speakers getting paid a set fee because I can create my own economy. Okay. I can create my own economy. So that's a very big misconception that people don't know. Go ahead. Your turn. What misconception?
Well, I think you covered a lot of the big misconceptions and you started with the question of, can you become a millionaire by being a speaker? And I think, you covered the fact that a lot of people think, well, they're just going to get a keynote. They're going to be a keynote speaker and they're going to be paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to tell their story. And the reality is nobody's paying anyone any money if nobody cares about who you are. And so I think the biggest thing in the speaking industry too, is it kind of starts with branding and marketing. And people kind of forget that if you're not branded, if you're not marketed, if you don't have a good package, you're not going to make a sales speaker, as a keynote speaker, as a motivational speaker, as any type of speaker, because you have to be marketed and branded. You have to be, people are buying a package deal. Just like you can go on YouTube and there's a million talented singers. You can go on YouTube, you can go on TikTok, you can go anywhere. And there are millions of talented speakers or talented singers and speakers, millions of talented people out there. But the difference between the one who makes it and the one that doesn't is who is marketed and who is marketable. And I think that's what a lot of people forget about, is that how key actual marketing is. Now, can you make millions as a speaker? You 100% can make millions as a speaker, but only if you're really smart about it and make a business out of it. And I would almost argue to say that the millions aren't really made in the actual speaking. It's what else you bring to the table, whether it's investing or whether it's a product or service that people can then become a client of yours for. It's not just the getting on the stage and the speaking, or even just the selling something while getting on the stage and speaking. It's really, you can make millions speaking when you're utilizing speaking to kind of be that lead to bring that person into your world and your ecosystem and your universe.
I also think, and we'll talk about this afternoon on my personal Facebook page, about what topics sell and don't sell. So that will be the topic. We're going to break down every single topic. We're going to do comparisons of speakers and what works and what doesn't work, especially in a post-corona world where the industry has completely changed. But I think the way you make millions in speaking is not by having a one-time sale, it's by having a lifetime sales. And I think a lot of people will sell one thing one time. And if you really take a look at, we talked about this yesterday about when building a business, Apple, they build that ecosystem, because if I like you, I'll buy your products, your service, your investments, and that ecosystem. And by the way, if you can do me a huge favor, everybody here, stop what you're doing. And if you can please press the like button. We do this 3 times a day for free. If you could just press the like button, also give us a comment. What do you think? We would really, really appreciate it. Press the like button. And if you're not subscribed, press the subscribe button so that you get it as soon as they come. But I think, and yesterday on my podcast, Billionaire versus Millionaire, the logic of success, I broke down the story of Zoom because it's very topic. We're doing this on Zoom right now. And how, in a way, was he a lucky, even though he was a billionaire before? And the reason why he created something is because he wasn't happy with the previous company that he was working at that had taken it over Cisco. And he created a product and he was obsessed on the happiness of the customer. And I think to us, we had built a culture. And I remember the day that I came up with Family First, I was actually being coached myself. And the whole theme was be extraordinary. And he goes, you have to start with the theme and build everything about it. That's how you build a culture. Like Apple, think differently. Everything built around their Starbucks and built around that. And to me, it was probably one of my two things that really at that moment, at that mastermind. And by the way, I've recorded every one of my coaching sessions from broke to where I am today. They're all on Millionaire Flicks, you see below. And you also have a course called Speak Your Way to Millions. You get all 51 of my courses, 4,000 hours of content, every coaching that's said about every one of my coaches. And I've done over 600 hours of coaching from broke to where I am today. And I legitimately have spent millions. That's what feels like. I have spent millions and I have the proof and I have the recordings. They're all at millionaireflix.com for only $20 in a time where, and the funny part is I couldn't go on stage and sell a program to 5,000 people for $20 because the promoters would never allow it, right? That's why the programs are 5,000. Because at the end of the day, it's a business. Like, how come people don't get outraged? And maybe they do. Oh my God, look, the Rolling Stones, $2,500 for front row tickets, and you get an autograph and a poster, right? Like, okay, well then don't sit there. Like, I don't understand there's a lot of hatred. And maybe because there's a lot of fake people that have never achieved anything and are just kind of like speakers. And that's fine if you haven't achieved anything, but you better have a lot of results, right? Like, there are people that are not good at business, but they're really good at helping other people become successful. And that's okay. I'm just really good at business, but I'm also very good at helping people because, I don't know too many people who have done 74 lives in a row where I press the button, I don't know who I am, and I randomly coach people every day on Instagram, 4 o'clock. Like, I don't even know these people within seconds, reading body language. So to me, it's obsessing. And also the word wow and unwow. Wow is how you build empires. Unwow is how it kills them. And to me, when I speak, my coach says, always give them a wow. And I know it sounds cliche, but the word wow is unsellable. So for me, the first wow was in the content that I delivered. Okay. Like people would hear my speech and be like, wow, that was really good. Now, wow, it was really good. And they don't buy, doesn't help me. Right? Wow, that's really good. I want that person. And part of the style that I used was to be the polarizer, the no BS, the hard, the edge, right? To have to push people to a decision. right? To really say, like, get them outside their comfort level. And then, wow, by doing our events mega success, which we had done 16, where basically I get the world's most successful people, the biggest celebrities in the world. And my clients would be at the same level of me. Doesn't matter if you're a billionaire, multimillionaire, startup, celebrity, everybody's the same. Where my clients would get branded by the celebrity, they get pictures by the celebrity, that we were all equal. And it was, and also too, the fact that people, I mean, our last one, people came from 72 different countries. And with people don't want to fly halfway across the world to be sold 5 times a day or 4 times a day. So we had to take away the selling and just bring value to understand. And there's nothing wrong in selling. I just want to point out to everybody, people, oh my God, there's nothing wrong in selling. But that continuous, like, wow, like even on Millionaire Flex, we created a program inside JT's deal where people have, I gave my meetings, record my meetings of me evaluating deals in businesses. People can see that. I record my own coaching sessions and my clients listen to it. I let my clients have a show on the platform if they want to, like if they want a show on Millionaire Flex so that they can get branded. So everything is about, what are you doing that your competition is not doing? None of my competition is doing 72 lives in a row, 73 lives. None of my competition is going live 3 separate times in one day. And so I just took it because I'm playing a long-term game. What do you think, Pat?
I think that you got to stand out from everyone. And I think that's something that you're doing, to differentiate yourself, not just in speaking, but, in kind of business and all the arenas that you really do business in, is the fact that you are going live multiple times a day. Now we're doing it YouTube, we're doing Facebook, we're doing Instagram. We're kind of, all over the place and adding value and driving value. And I think that's a big key in kind of how our strategy and your strategy has been to stand out and kind of be someone who's a little bit different, because you're going to be the one that people are going to remember, that's going to stand out because of the things that you were doing. Now, I think on the flip of this, it's frustrating because you don't start out with hundreds of views or thousands of views. That's not where anything starts.
Well, I would argue that the views currently, and they've actually gone up yesterday from where we are. So in 24 hours, you see the momentum. But right now, we probably have 10% of the people on than what we normally would get every day at one time on a webinar, on a platform where people could go in there. Because maybe 2 things. People are confused where to go. That's maybe one, because we've changed it twice now. We've changed the times. Also, 2, people are back to work. It's another thing as well, right? And also perhaps people say, well, maybe I can listen later. I don't need to listen live, right? So those are 3 factors. But at this point, I think the strategy that got us out of this coronavirus, the first phase, lockdown, not be able to go anywhere, we need a new strategy. And I think that's why people have to innovate and they have to change. Because if they don't, I think more than anything, too many speakers are saying the same thing. Too many coaches and consultants are saying the same. They're not innovating. Like, how many people could honestly say, speaker, coaches, and consultant, have you looked at what you offer, your product, your services, your consulting, and how have you adapted it for the new world? What kind of research did you do? What learning did you do? Did you add new skills? Did you add new product? Did you find out what's needed? Or you're just waiting for this to be, okay, we're reopen, and then you're going to plug and play? Because that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen 100%.
Right. And
so,
but I think that's part of it is, in everything, in building a brand and building a business, it doesn't happen overnight. So, to build your name as a speaker or a coach or in the consulting world, you have to start doing something and you have to be consistent with it, and you've got to continue to do it. And that's where the growth is going to come from, as long as you're delivering great content and great value. Because the reality is, we could sit here and if we're not sharing anything that's valuable and we're not talking about anything that people care about, it's not going to grow and people aren't going to watch. So well, I think
anything can be learned though. Like I was just saying, like people say, can I be a speaker? Yeah. What are you willing to do? Also too, a lot of people sell coaching and they don't have a coach. Like And by the way, a coach is not a business partner. A coach is not someone, it's free advice. A coach is someone that you pay. Okay. And by the way, you better pay them more than what you charge. And they better be more successful than you. Like I had someone say, I'm very successful. Who's your coach? Because I pay him $100 an hour. How good they be? And the big mistake that people, that you should never charge coaching by the hour. Okay. Because then you're trading time for money, right? What you ought to be selling is value. And I think that's a big mistake that people make is they don't have a coach. And so if your notion is I'm going to do it myself, then why would I hire you? Like for me, I expose my coaches, George Ross and Hugh Hilton and Mike Slate, all those people, like Coach Mark, whatever I get coached on, my clients get coached as well. My philosophy is very simple. If it's good for me, it's good for my clients. It's really what it is. And it's, by the way, that's something consistently I've done. Like even now, like the fact that the things are shut down and we're not traveling in a different country every day, like every day. Like I was in a country, I could be like in London, Bahrain, Dubai, Turkey, back to Israel, back to, Japan, like every day is a different country. And now I'm focused on two things, right? Buying, selling businesses with as little money as possible, as low as $1, and doing real estate deals. But now, like, I got clients sending me deals. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, you understand? So because they think like me, so I'm not looking, if people buy the course, like, I'm just interested in giving value. Now people say, why you just don't do it for free? I have found that people don't appreciate free, right? And like people need to have some kind of accountability in terms of coaching or even this. So, it's interesting when you offer every course I have for $20 on Millionaire Flix, including my speaker course, which I sold for a lot of money. And you can find out where to advertise, what to do, what not to do, Facebook, what works, LinkedIn. And then on top of that, 8 years ago, I recorded myself with my first coach, Paul, how to be a speaker. 3 days. And he was left brain, analytical, and I realized that I needed someone opposite than me. It's the most boring audio. If you're a right brainer, if you're a left brainer, it's heaven. But it really taught me some very important thing. Everyone has an emotional red button. And as a speaker, coach, consultant, your job is to press it. Everybody wants to buy, but nobody wants to be sold to. And you need to make somebody feel something that is different. And by the way, you could listen to that as well as all 50 of my courses. Like imagine being in the audience and know if people are going to buy or not buy just by looking, right? Imagine sitting one-on-one, selling your coaching, consulting, and know what the problem is, what the objection is, how they're feeling just by looking. That's reading body language. I think for me, we'll do a one at some point about reading body language, because in the audience, I can read my audience. Also, too, I've become a master at looking at the audience without looking.
I was like, you have a body language one on Millionaire Flix.
It is. We uploaded that about 3 weeks ago. It's basically how to read body language, eyes, positioning, arms. That's why it's so easy for me, because I know what's going to happen before it happens, right? Meaning like I know, so you can go a lot quicker into your decision-making process. Or if you're not sure, all you gotta do is ask a series of questions. Every question that comes out of my mouth, everything I say I do has a purpose intended to find out what the end result is. And that's what people have to do. So definitely go to Millionaire Flix, get it for $20. It's a no-brainer. It's really cool. And that speaker coach, but there's other, like how to brand, how to market. Like there's just so many things. Here's the problem. You need to be an entrepreneur that's a speaker, not a speaker trying to be an entrepreneur. And there's a lot of people that are older now that are still in the industry and they still speak in their 70s because they've never really ran a business. They're really good at speaker, but in my experience, a lot of speakers are horrible at running a business. We just happen to be very good at business as well as speaking, because that's the first thing I've said is you need to be an entrepreneur. You need to run it like a business. Speaking is a byproduct, because once you're a speaker, then you get into other products, other services. I mean, this is a JT Foxx tie. Like I own my own tie company. Like I have, my own suits. We have jewelry. It's like a lot of different things. Because we created what's called an intentional congruent business. We have horizontal and vertical integration. We, as a speaker, we created a Apple thing. That's why I can get deals and companies and partnerships and private equities. Like it's a whole machine. Speaking is a funnel to basically get that exposure. And by the way, if you don't believe me, Gary Vee said that's what he does, the exact same thing. And the fact that now they took the speaking away because of the coronavirus, that he's in trouble on that part. He even said because that was his play money. That was his no risk money. That was his try money, which now he can't afford to do. And obviously, if you do it right, speaking is the most profitable business industry in the world.
Yep.
So this afternoon, we are going to talk about topics. And the reason why is because I have an interview that I'm doing on Millionaire Flix on a very big speaker, ironically enough, in the health space. And I'm going to be interviewing, put that interview on Millionaire Flix as well. So I have that interview that starts like now. So we will be back at 3:30 Eastern time on my Facebook page, 4 o'clock Eastern time, live coaching on Instagram. Please, before you go, please press the like button, press the like button, press the like button as well. And also to Millionaire Flix, check it out. Get every single course. There is no greater deal. You'll never have to buy another course. There's content updated every single day. Or you can binge on Broke Flix or get Millionaire Flix. Feed your mind, feed your body, feed everything. Everything you need to know. Real estate, business growth, marketing, branding, sales, focus, fear, everything. 51 courses, 4,000 hours for only $20. Go up there too. We'll see you guys. We're going to go over topics. What topics sell and don't sell. And what are the best Corona post-virus topics, COVID-19, that will work when we finally are able to get into a room? And what's the difference between online and offline? That's it this afternoon. I can't wait to see you there. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Press the like button before you leave, please. Press the like button. We appreciate you all. Thank you. We'll see you this afternoon.